And a good morning to the Gelding on what's a beautiful day in Melbourne. But Gelding, we're ignoring Caulfield Races, your home track.
Yes, well, Professor, it's a beautiful Easter Saturday. Going to get into the early 30s today, and we've given Caulfield the flick today, Professor. Both not only not backing there, but we'll still have a couple of bets there. But also not even going there, Professor.
Yeah, that's unusual for us not to attack the Caulfield Races.
Well, I think I might prefer to sit in the air condition with a nice wine and a nice steak and watch those mighty Tigers hopefully beat the Swans.
Are you on the bandwagon, Gelding?
Oh, mate, I'm on the bandwagon, but they're just coasting at the moment. So it's going to be an interesting game because the Swans are playing some very nice, good footy.
Now, did I hear Buddy Franklin's not playing?
Yeah, Franklin's not playing, and I've had a quiet little wager with some of our friends in Sydney too.
Okay, and I understand Buddy Tambling's not playing either.
No, Buddy Tambling left a long time ago, Professor.
That was a good choice, wasn't it, Gelding?
Oh, well, just do you want to put some salt on that old wound, Professor?
All right, let's get on to the racing, Gelding. We're going to Rosehill today where the track's a good for the punters. The rail's out 6 metres for the entire course. And the measurement you like most of all, Gelding, the penetrometer, 4.96.
Oh, not the go-go stick, Professor?
Not the going stick, no, the penetrometer.
The go-go stick. What will I think of next, Professor? Yes, we're heading to Rosehill because it's part of their autumn carnival up there in Sydney, which was put back because of the flood. So this is Rosehill's second day of their carnival. A couple of Group 1 races, Professor, and we'll have a go in one of them, which will lead me into my first tip, which is race 6, horse number 2, Harmony Rose, to be ridden by Josh Carr and prepared by Mark Newman. Mark Newman, a good up-and-coming trainer in Sydney, he used to work for Gay Waterhouse, but when they went the Botway, Mark became trainer in his own right and is going very well. Now, this Harmony Rose, Professor, ran third to in the Randwick Guineas. Mawunga that we were on last week ran second in it. So that's good enough form for me to follow up on a Harmony Rose this week. Around about, I think the nice juicy odds this morning I got was $2.90, Professor. So, with the power play at Sportsbet, you can get $3.10 or so. So we'll go in the Group 1 Vinery Stud Stakes, race 6, number 2, Harmony Rose.
And your other selection, Gelding?
Well, this is a horse that we're going race 4, Professor, number 1, Crone. This horse has had a marvellous turnaround. Was previously with Darren Weir. You remember that name from Victorian racing many years ago. Moved across to Mick Price. Is now up with Tony Goblin up at in Queensland, but he's brought it down for the Sydney Carnival after the horse went to stud and missed, Professor, so they brought it back for racing, and it's won its last 3 races. So it's just in fine winning form. Top Cat, Clark aboard, round about the $3. So race 4, number 1, Crone, Professor. Now, what do you like up in Sydney?
Okay, Gelding. Well, I'm going early, as usual. Race 2 which is the Neville Selwood Stakes over 2,000 metres. Now, Neville Selwood, a famous Australian jockey. In the Australian Racing Hall of Fame, won the Epsom Derby on Larkspur, won 2 Melbourne Cups. Can you name the 2 Melbourne Cup winners he rode?
No, Professor.
Okay, 1951 on Delta.
Right.
And 1955 on Toparoa.
Okay.
And
I can quote you every winner from 62 onwards if you like, Professor.
I know you can, Gelding. and regrettably died at the age of 39 in a race fall in France in 1962.
Yeah, it was a very good Australian rider that a lot of the jockeys in that era went over to England. Ron Hutchinson, George Moore went over. They were all very successful in England and Europe.
Yeah. So race 2, and I've gone for horse 2, Entente, from barrier 3. A little bit about it: 14 starts for 5 wins and 4 placings, 36% win rate, 64% placing rate. Some of the filters: Gelding, it's won over the distance, it's won at the track. It ran 4th in a listed race at Canberra on the 8th of March and won the Albany Cup on the 19th of March. So it's currently showing $6.70 on the tote.
Oh.
So good each way odds for punters. You can get fixed at $4. So obviously it's above the odds at the moment on the tote.
Yes, Professor, very good pick this. I do like it on a good each way basis. There's a couple of good horses. A very open race this, even though there's only 10 in there. Master of Wine comes back from running 6 in a Group 1, and Shed Ambition comes back, and these and Entente. Plus, you've also got Affilius and in there as well. So, Professor, I like it. Very good each way odds and a very, very good tip early in the day to build a bank.
Yeah, being piloted by Tim Clark and trained by trained by Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. And over the last 50, they're averaging 17% between them. So that's not a bad clip at all. Yeah,
very
on time in race 2.
Yeah,
and then race. Sorry,
can I go back?
Yes.
He does have on his racing silks TC, and he does go by the name Top Cat.
There you go. Well,
Timmy Clark.
Well, hopefully Top Cat can get us across the line today, Gelding.
Beautiful.
And my second selection in race 3, which is the Tulloch Stakes. And Tulloch, a very famous racehorse trained by Tommy Smith, Gelding.
Oh, very much one of the best horses ever to race in Australia. Probably, was regarded as being second probably to Farlap, but now you throw Winks and Black Caviar into the mix. It's right up there as one of the best horses. Unbeatable as a 3-year-old, Professor. Won the Caulfield Cup as a 3-year-old. And Tommy Smith, unfortunately, said it would have won the Melbourne Cup as a 3-year-old, but the owner made him scratch the horse and didn't run it as a 3-year-old. And as a 4-year-old, got very, very sick and almost died, but eventually got back to racing and became the legend that it was. But God knows what it would have done, Professor, if it hadn't got crook.
How about this? I had a look at its list of wins, Gelding. Won 2 St Ledgers.
Yep.
A Chipping Norton, a Brisbane Cup, a Cox Plate, a McKinnon Stakes, as you said, the Caulfield Cup, the Caulfield Guineas, the VRC, the AJC and the QTC Derbies,
Yep.
the Rosehill Guineas and the Victorian, New South Wales and Queensland Size Produce Stakes in the same year.
Yeah, as a 2-year-old, Professor, look, some of those races, as you said, all those derbies, the Guineas, you had a horse of that calibre winning those races as a 3-year-old. It would go to stud and be a 50, 60, $70 million horse. The horses are going now for 10, 20 million, which is ungood. But to win 3 derbies, the Guineas, also win as a 2-year-old in the Size Produce, sensational horse, Professor.
So I've gone for another, well, not quite sensational, not a horse in the same league, Gelding, but one we've been on before, Cherry Tortoni.
Yes, Professor, one of our favourite horses, Cherry Tortoni. We backed it in the Victorian Derby last year, and it's obviously preparing for the AJC Derby up there. Paddy Payne, but give us your reasons for backing it.
Well, Gelding, 11 starts for 4 wins and 3 placings, so similar to Entente, 36% win rate, 64% placing rate. Kieran McAvoy's in career form. Paddy Payne's in career form. It ran in a Group 1 at Flemington and ran second to Luna Fox. And that day we were on Cherry Tortoni cheering it on. Probably our combined weight held it back, Gelding.
2 more bounds, Professor, it wins.
Yeah, so it ran fourth in a Group 2 to Grand Slam at Moonee Valley. So, look, it's got the form. It's been underproducing at the moment, especially if you look at its form guide. So it's due to break through. That's how I see it, and I see its threat as probably Young Werther, who beat at home in the beat at home at Moonee Valley to Grand Slam.
Well, Professor, interesting to see Karen McAvoy, Paddy Payne's brother-in-law, aboard. Taken off is Billy Egan, whose last couple of rides on the horse, if we're nice, could have been said mistimed. Is that a nice way of putting it, Professor?
I would have said disappointing, Gelding.
Yeah, so just got too far back in the last 2 runs. So whether Karen McAvoy, who's an excellent jockey, one of my favourite jockeys, can place it a little bit better in the race, and will be coming home. So it'd be good to see Cherry Tortoni wearing the racing colours of Tie the Knot, Professor. Hope that comes home, and we're saluting.
Yes, Gelding. All right, the Professor's Parlay.
The very successful Professor Parlay.
Yes, Gelding. So our agreed bet of the day, race 6, horse 2, Harmony Rose.
Got to have a crack in the Group 1s, Professor.
We do, and that into the Cronulla Sharks to beat the North Queensland Cowboys in the NRL.
Yes, like it.
Cronulla have won 1 game. North Queensland have been very disappointing, losing all 3 games so far. The points differential is in favour of the Cronulla Sharks at 55 at the moment. So that's a good bet, showing at $1.30 into. We're going back to the Premier League.
Oh, no, Professor.
Yes.
Yes.
Chelsea, who have been on before and had some success with. Chelsea to defeat West Bromwich Albion. Chelsea 4th on the table, 51 points, a goal difference of 19, plus 19, against West Bromwich Albion, only 18 points, with a goal difference of minus 37, which is the worst in the Premier League. So there's a 56 goal difference there. So I'm quite confident about that. And Chelsea currently showing $1.20. The odds on Professor's Parlay this week, 4-1.
4-1. Beautiful. A nice little bet, that, Professor.
So
let's hope we get that horse run up again like we did last week.
Yeah, we wish all our viewers a very happy Easter, and may their horses and football teams be successful. Now, Gelding, no Sports Fan Radio today. Tomorrow we're taking Sunday off for Easter.
An extra sleep in, Professor.
Yeah, is there a race meeting on Monday, Gelding?
Well, there's normally one at Caulfield, Professor. So,
well, if there's a race meeting in Metropolitan Melbourne, we might do this again on Monday if you've got time.
Yeah, certainly got time. So maybe we'll have a talk about that this afternoon.
Well, let's do that. And until then, Gelding, it's good luck
and good punting.